I just thought it'd be kind of interesting to show you a little bit of my process when it comes to recording. Most of you know I'm working on this theme song for a fellow YouTuber, Danny Hauck, and hopefully I can come up with something that he'll like and will be catchy for his vlog that he's got going on. So here is my process. This is Cakewalk Sonar 3 Producer Edition, a pretty old piece of software. I think simpler is better, and that's how I want my process to be, kind of simple. What I'm going to do is plug in some audio tracks. I've got this keyboard plugged into the sound card of my computer right now using just, a regular stereo cable. I've got some voices that I've already have programmed for some music that I've done before. I'm going to go ahead and just use a couple of those voices to come up with some themes. So far I've come up with 2 ideas really for Danny's theme song. I'm going to just play them both for you so you can hear what they sound like. And here's the first theme I came up with. Something like this. So I was planning on doing some kind of variation with that, and I'll back it up with some drum beat or something. It's just a theme song. It's just an opener for his vlogs. I don't want it to be no more longer than 15 to 30 seconds. Yeah, that's the first theme that I've come up with. And now I'll play you the second theme that I've came up with. I think I'd like this one better. So that's kind of like the skeleton of the theme that I came up with. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and work on that second theme I came up with. I've narrowed it down to a tempo, and that's at 150 beats per minute. I'm going to record it with a click track. It's very experimental the way I record. I pretty much ad-lib a lot and throw it all together that way. That's probably not the best way to do it, but that's my way of doing it. Here we go. Okay, so I've got this, I got the counter melody recorded, and I think it's to a point where I'd like it to start out with anyway. And now I'm going to record the actual melody with the distorted guitar. That's kind of a half-assed recording, and I'm going to re-record the same part, but I'm going to save that file, and then I'll mix them, match them together, and choose which is best. So now I've got these 3 tracks here are the melody part that I just made with the guitar, and they're all not perfect. So I'm going to take the best parts of each track, and I'm going to mesh them together. Then we're going to get that one completed track. So let's listen to this first part. Okay, so it had a fair start, but I know I do not like the ending, so I'm automatically going to eliminate that second half. It's just basically a process of elimination. So now I'm going to mute this track, and then I'll unmute this track, and then I'll see what I like about this. Okay, now that had like a better second half, but the very ending I didn't like. It seemed to be a little bit late, and I didn't really care much for the beginning. Particularly that second phrase. The very first beginning sounds fine, but I'll show you. That right there, that was a little bit late, so I'm going to split the track at that point, and I'm going to drag it out of there. But since I like the beginning, I'm going to keep that. The ending was awesome till the very last note. So now I've got that track figured out. Let's go ahead and listen to this third track and see what parts we do and do not like. Now that had some pretty good parts for the parts that we don't like right here. It was fine with that da-da-da, but then the middle was just fair. So I'm going to go ahead and take out probably this much from here until the end. I think we had a good note on the end there, and then we have two tracks right here that we have to compare real quick and see which one we like the best. We got to find the best of the best. So we'll mute this track and we'll unmute this one. We'll listen to this one again. Okay, I'm going to drag this out and see if they're really pretty close. I don't know how you can tell on the video, but in real life it sounds like this one has a fuller sound. I think I'm going to go with the second one. I think I do like that one better. I'm just going to completely eliminate this first track. They're really close, so it's not going to be a big deal. Only thing is I'll have to edit it so that this flows into this track here, and then this track flows into that track, and then of course this goes into that, and then we'll throw it all together. I went ahead and pasted all of those best parts together on that top track, and it sounds pretty good all together, so let's have a listen. And now the next part is adding a little bit more orchestral parts to give this piece a little bit more flavor. I'm going to go ahead and bounce these tracks. There, now they're all one single track, and I can just drag them together like that. And the next part I'm going to add is timpani and pizzicato strings. After a long time with editing, I finally have my timpani and pizzicato track figured out. I'm going to add a choir part on top of all of this. I'm going for kind of a full, big, new age orchestral type sound, so I'm just going to add in a choir for fun. Alright. I also need to add some cymbal parts, the reverse whooshy kind of cymbal thing, and that'll give it a little bit more of a big feel too. I think that sounds like what we're looking for. So we'll record that sound in its original state. Okay, so I tweaked around with a little bit of those reverse cymbals, and I want to show you how they sound in the completed piece.